Welcome to the Wedding Songs Podcast, featuring newly released songs you need to know and the tried and true classics. Get song ideas from the time guests arrive until the last dance of the reception. And now your host, Matt Campbell, founder of MyWeddingSongs.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wedding Songs Podcast. I am Matt Campbell. It's hard to believe I haven't said this in a little while, but this is episode number 114. Yes, I've actually made it that far. I'm going to be riding solo the next 3 episodes because it's going to be a 3-part series. This one today is going to be about first dance songs. Then I'm going to be talking about father-daughter dance songs, or we could say father-figure dance songs. And then following up with mother-son dance songs, or a mother-figure dance. So a 3-part series of very popular searches that happen on Google for wedding music. So what's going to happen on this episode is I'm going to be giving you a list of popular first dance songs and then an alternative to that as well that's not played at every wedding. Then I'm going to end with a list of newly released first dance songs within 2023 and 2024 that hopefully haven't been played or should be played anyway for first dances. They really hit the mood, the tempo, and also the feelings for love during the first dance. So let's go ahead and get started. Just as a reminder that the first dance songs that I'm going to be mentioning, I can't play them legally because I don't have the rights to the songs, but you can listen to all of these songs that I'm mentioning on our website at myweddingsongs.com. So the first up, I have to mention, I consider the most popular wedding song of all time is Elvis Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love, a song that everybody knows. But an alternative to that, it was actually in the Elvis movie, Can't Help Falling in Love by Casey Musgraves. I just love her voice. There's so much emotion. Just one that you have to play at a wedding if you're going to play an alternative to Elvis version that is more modern. Next up, another very popular modern song, Perfect by Ed Sheeran. People have loved this song. And what's interesting is that Ed Sheeran has actually gone out of favor from a lot of couples just because of his mass appeal, and he's always being played at weddings. But my alternative to that is Heaven by Callum Scott, a favorite song of mine and one that really hits kind of the same tempo. Both are pop songs and just 2 great songs to play for a wedding's first dance. Now, next up, a very popular song as well from the 1960s is Etta James' hit At Last. It's talking about finally finding your lover at last. And with that same emotion, that same feelings is Finally Mine by Juliet Roberts. 2 great songs, I think, that are fantastic and can be played for alternatives to each other. Next up is Beautiful Crazy by Luke Combs, and one of his recently released songs is Love You Anyway by, of course, Luke Combs. Now, everybody knows for R&B fans and for all music fans, John Legend has the ultimate love song with All of Me. And my follow-up to that as an alternative is an artist that was performing on The Voice. His name is Brian Nira. His song is Till Death Do Us Part, one song that will describe your love on your wedding day and for that first dance that you're going to have. Of course, Dan and Shay is going to be on the list, and their song From the Ground Up, because they're talking about their grandparents and the foundation that every couple must have. My alternative to that is another country song by Spencer Crandall called Made, but this is the wedding version, and they relate because they're talking about how your partner is made just for you. 2 great country songs that you can play for your first dance. Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, probably the best modern country artist for true country fans. An alternative to that I have is called Sweet Symphony by Joy Oladuncan. What's interesting is that Chris Stapleton is featured in this song, so you have to listen to Sweet Symphony. I love this selection that you not only could play for your first dance, but even through your wedding ceremony as well. Daniel Caesar and Her sang a duet, Best Part, a very popular first dance song. Lettucey and PJ Morton teamed up Anything for You, the duet. I love this song if you're looking for an alternative to a duet R&B song. These songs are perfect for any first dance for R&B lovers. It's funny, recently Sharon and I saw The Frontmen, and one of the artists in The Frontmen is the lead singer of Lone Star, and their most popular song by far is Amazed, that was released in 1999, and it's one of the greatest country love songs, and I would even bear to say one of the greatest love songs of all time. But an alternative to that is Alexandra Kay's song That's What Love Is. I love her voice and the emotion that's in this song, and it really talks about a wedding day as well. Everybody knows In Case You Didn't Know by Brett Young. His popular song has been played since first being released. And my alternative to that is his newer song, Dance With Me, that I think really encapsulates the first dance moment at the wedding reception. You can't go wrong with the song title, Dance With Me, that talks about love, and that's perfect for the first dance. One of the greatest country love songs of all time by the one and only George Strait, I Cross My Heart. An alternative to that is an artist that was on America's Got Talent. He was also briefly on American Idol, and that is Drake Mulligan with his song Dance of a Lifetime. If you want to dance the waltz for your first dance, then this is the perfect song to play for that. Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur, another famous first dance song. And somebody that's a rising star, Benson Boone, he really got his start on TikTok by blowing up, and his song Before You is a great alternative to play for James Arthur's song. Of course, I'm going to have Dan and Shay's Speechless. You know, I consider this a better bride entrance song because the groom is speechless, but I have to say, if I'm going to pick an alternative to that, I have to pick their newer song, You. But the acoustic version, one song you could even play for your first dance or any part of your wedding day. It's just one of those great love songs. I know you were waiting for this because it was in Breaking Dawn, and that is 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. But I'm going to pick an alternative to that being John Mullen's song, Last Love. If you haven't heard this song, make sure that you do check it out because it has so much emotion. It's a pop song that you could have for your wedding ceremony or for your first dance. Now, next up is another 1960s famous song, and that is Stand By Me by Ben E. King. You know, this was in one of the royal weddings. The alternative song I'm going to pick is a modern song, but it has an old time feel to it. And it's the Arctic Monkeys song, Baby, I'm Yours. One of my favorite modern artists is Leon Bridges, and his song Beyond. You can't go wrong with this one. But a rising star, I hope he really takes off. He's got a lot of great music out there, and that is Otis Kane and his song Without You. The video even features a wedding, which is kind of cool. Next up is one of the greatest love songs in the rock genre of modern era is Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. But I'm going to challenge you with this next one because it's a cover song of a Blink 182 song, and that is Taylor Acorn's First Date, the acoustic version. I think that would fit nice for any rock fans. Speaking of rock, we have Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton, very famous song. And the next alternative song, I feel like this song just doesn't get enough respect. It's funny because my nephew played this song for his first dance. It is Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce, keeping along with the same era, same genre, same everything. So if you want to play Wonderful Tonight, I think a great surprise song would be Time in a Bottle. It's a song that everybody forgets about, but man, it makes for a great first dance song or even as a slow dance song at a wedding reception. The Way You Look Tonight by Frank Sinatra is next up. I have to match crooner to crooner, and if I'm going to do that, I definitely have to pick Michael Bublé, but I'm going to pick his mid-tempo song, more recent, is I'll Never Not Love You. It's a little bit more upbeat, kind of like The Way You Look Tonight. Not a real slow dance song, so If you're going to dance to this, maybe work with a choreographer just so you could get the dance moves down. But another great song that you could play for your first dance. If I'm going to mention first dance songs, I have to mention Rascal Flatts, Bless the Broken Road. You know, a lot of people may not want this song just because it talks about the trials and tribulations just to get to each other. And that's why I had to pick On My Way to You by Cody Johnson, because it kind of has the same feel, same vibe, same theme to it. And if you know Cody Johnson, this is a great love song to play for your first dance. Next up are two duets. I have challenging each other. It would be interesting to have a fight out just to see which song people would pick. They would probably pick the first one because it's more well known. You Are the Reason by Callum Scott and Leona Lewis. But I really like this other song as well. It's by Forrest Black and Megan Trainor with If You Love Her, a great duet from two top voices. Next up is another mid-tempo song that's been played at many weddings, and that is Ray LaMontagne's You Are the Best Thing, an alternative folk song. And don't let the folk genre scare you away, but Rue Paynes and his song I Just Love You is an awesome song to play for your first dance as a married couple. Next up is Yours by Russell Dickerson, a very popular wedding ceremony song, but I also saw it as a popular first dance song. An alternative to that is Troy Cartwright's song, That's Why, describing that's why he loves his lover. One of the greatest modern country artists, Tim McGraw, with his song My Best Friend. My alternative to that is Adam Dolik's song Another, but it's the wedding version. It's slowed down and makes for a great slow first dance song because he doesn't want another. He found his perfect one, his best friend. That's why they're alternatives to each other. And of course, Marry Me by Train. What song can I play for that? I mean, that's one of the greatest modern wedding songs of all time. I have to Take My Name, the wedding version by Parmalee. I think it really describes the wedding day. It's commonly played as an entrance song, but it's could be a great first dance song as well. Of course, I have to mention, I've been saying that for all these, the most popular, and Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran is definitely one of the most popular first dance songs. And an alternative to that that's not on everybody's playlist is by Drew Angus. I love this song. The videos even have the same vibe to them because they have the dancers dancing just like Ed Sheeran is in his video. So make sure you check out Made to Love You if you want an alternative to Thinking Out Loud. Now, talking about old time songs is Can't Take My Eyes Off of You by Frankie Valli. And an alternative to that, I have to pick Steven Sanchez's song Until I Found You because it has that old time feel to it. And there you have it, popular versus alternative songs. Hopefully that gives you an idea. Time for a short break to let you know about the Wedding Music Toolkit. This 28-page book will guide you through picking all the songs that are needed for the wedding ceremony and reception. Plus, it includes a wedding day timeline, day of wedding checklist, and also popular and unique alternatives to wedding moments such as the processional, recessional, first dance, and last dance. So make sure you check out the Wedding Music Toolkit. It is available on Amazon and on my website, myweddingsongs.com. Now, back to the show. To close this episode out, I just wanted to talk about a few new first dance songs that maybe you haven't heard of yet. Space in My Heart as a collaboration with Enrique Iglesias and Miranda Lambert, and a song that matches the R&B mix with contemporary country, a great love song that you can play. If you're looking for a more folk or alternative song, then Noah Kahan's song Forever that was recently released. Jason Mraz has had a ton of wedding songs, but recently he teamed up with Ingrid Michaelson with Love Is. Great love song that you could play not only for the ceremony, but for your first dance. Next up is a song that was written specifically for a first dance. It's called First Dancin', and it's a country song by Two Lane Summer, released in 2024. If you're a diehard country fan that likes old time country music, then Shane Smith and the Saints released All the Way. They really have that feel of old time country in this and a great love song. Now, Morgan Wallen's label and record company was going to release an album that he didn't give the permission to. So he spun out Spin You Around 124, meaning January 2024. And this song is a great first dance song. It's slow, it's easy. And Morgan Wallen is a huge artist right now. So make sure you check out Spin You Around, the 124 version. Now, the likelihood of you hearing this next song before is pretty unlikely. It's called Best Friend, and the artist is Pacific Skyway. It's kind of like a pop rock song, but one that's perfect that you can uniquely claim yours because not many other couples are going to have it. And it's just a perfect first dance song to play. So many country songs are written and produced that make great country first dance songs. And Kid G, it's Kidd, and his last initial G, with his song If I Were a Love Song, I think makes for a great first dance song. And for the R&B genre, Raheem Devon with his song Let's Fall in Love. You know, with that title, you can't go wrong with a first dance song. And to close out country suggestions is Kelsey Hart's song Life with You. If you haven't heard that, check it out. Now, I know this next song was in a jewelry commercial. I'm not going to mention the company, but I Choose You by Forrest Black. He has the original version, he has an acoustic version. You know, this is just a great song to play for your first dance or even for walking down the aisle as well. To close out, my new suggestions is Johnny and Heidi. I did do an interview with them on a previous episode talking about writing love songs, and this is one of the songs mentioned is Time with You. They wrote this for another couple, and it just really captures you into the song about love and all about having your first dance with somebody that you love. So make sure you check out Time with You by Johnny and Heidi. There you have it. A few first dance songs to play to really capture the moment. You know, a lot of the first dances are dancing on the clouds where DJs will bring in their dry ice machines. You have your mood setting lighting. It could be up lighting, could be a spotlight on you. However you want to have your first dance. Your first dance could be after the grand entrance. It kind of really gives it good flow because then the wedding party's circling around the couple on the dance floor. Just creates a great moment. But my challenge to you is just pick a song that really tells your love story. It doesn't matter if it's one of these love songs. It could be a crazy song as well. Maybe a metal song, a cover of a metal song. Whatever really hits your personality, I'm going to say choose that as your first dance because, you know, when you're married 30 years or 40 years, you're going to remember what your first dance song is. Whereas if you pick something that doesn't mean anything to you, you may not remember it and you're not going to have that special moment in your memory. So stay tuned for our next episode of the Wedding Songs podcast coming out every Thursday morning. And the next two episodes are going to be about father-daughter and mother-son dances. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Wedding Songs Podcast. Never miss a future episode. Subscribe today to our podcast. Follow us on Facebook at My Wedding Songs and send us a message about playlists you would like covered.